about 5 ideas I have for the relocation of Asgard. Now for number 1, of course, let's go with the obvious, Norway. So, at the beginning of Thor Ragnarok, Loki and Thor, they go to visit their father Odin, and he is dying, and he is in Norway. So they go to Norway, they talk to Odin, and then that's pretty much all we see of Norway at the beginning of the film. Then they fight Hela, and Thor goes to Sakaar and everything. But then, at the end of the movie, Odin keeps appearing in Thor's head right before he gets his lightning powers. He's always in Norway. So at the end of the movie, when Thor's in the ship with the Asgardians, before he gets until he comes across Thanos, he has the idea to go to the Earth and form Asgard on Norway. Now, for the next one, I could see Sakaar being a possibility. So I can see Thor 4 being really kind of a liberation kind of movie, freeing the rest of Sakaar. Maybe even when the Guardians of the Galaxy roster shuffles up, maybe Korg will be on it and he will go liberate Sakaar. But I really can see the Asgardians happening Sakaar just because it's kind of a nexus of the universe, just like Asgard is. So there's kind of the portals everywhere, and it's just really, a good thing. It's a really nice place. It could be a nice place for Asgard. They could use all the trash to rebuild it and to become a new city. I think this would be a really cool thing. We could see Thor finally defeating the Grand Master, Thor and maybe Hulk, who defeated him in the... He never got to beat him in the movie before. I don't believe he died. Grandmaster is dead, so maybe even... his Grandmaster's brother, the Collector, is dead, so maybe even the Grandmaster would like to kind of... Maybe he'll even give Thor the Sakaar because of his sadness, and maybe he doesn't want to stay on Sakaar anymore. Maybe he wants to take up his brother's place. And then the next one, I would say, would be Nowhere. Now, we know in Infinity War that Nowhere was destroyed. Completely destroyed. Well, not completely. All we really saw was the Grand Master's chamber, which is just a tiny part of the entire thing. If you didn't know, Nowhere is actually a giant celestial head. So basically what Celestials are, they're kind of the gods below the gods of the Marvel Universe. So Ego the Living Planet and then Aeson the Searcher are the 2 Celestials we know of that exist in the Marvel Universe. Plus the Nowhere Celestial, but he is dead. Now, in this universe, I could possibly see Odin being a Celestial, just because they kind of changed Ego's origins, because Ego was never a Celestial in the comics. I think it's possible that Odin could be a Celestial, so maybe Thor feels that Celestial connection and decides to move to Nowhere, just because of its strange powers that arise there, and there's remnants of the Infinity Stones, so that can give Thor a kind of cosmic presence in the universe that scares enemies away from the planet. Now, the next one would be the moon. Mom, I'm recording.
Okay, I'm just going to get this.
Why?
We're going to watch about it.
Okay. So, the moon has a pretty big significance in the Marvel Universe. If you've watched an Inhuman show, which I would not recommend, it's not a good show. In fact, it's been canceled, and I believe it'll be retconned from the Marvel Universe just because Marvel Cinematic Universe, just because of how bad it was. The moon is where the Inhumans originally had their kingdom of Adelan. Now, since the Inhumans was such a failure, I don't believe Marvel would try to do that for at least, I would say, 20 years. So, why not move the Asgardians, the remaining Asgardians after Infinity War, to the moon? Now, in the comics, then humans live on the blue area of the moon. So this is the area of the moon where there's oxygen, so they can breathe. And the Asgardians could go there, build their kingdom, and they could watch over Earth, while still staying away from it, because there's still a lot of tension between the Asgardians and the Earth people, from what Loki did in New York. Now my next one is kind of a really, this was kind of inspired by a DC story I read. It's New 52 Vibe #1. Now you may know Vibe from the Flash TV show. So Vibe is a character that can create portals and stuff, but that's not the point. Vibe's kind of girlfriend is this girl named Gypsy, and she's also in the Flash TV show. And she comes from a tribe of these nomads that travel around not just their universe, around all realities. So they have the ability to open portals, and they travel through these realities, and they kind of don't have a home. So I was thinking that now that there aren't many Asgardians, it would be cool if they kind of became nomads of the Marvel Universe, kind of just traveling around, helping people do good, and not really having a specific home. Because in the words of Odin and Heimdall, Asgard is not a place, it's a people. So there's still remaining people, and they can travel around, kind of help people. And we know that Thor, now with his new Stormbreaker weapon, he can create those portals. So he has the ability to, use this portal ability, and travel between place to place. So he can definitely provide transportation for the Asgardians. So I think this would be a really cool option. If I had to say the top 2 out of the 5 I picked, I would say I would really like to see the moon as my number 1. For my number 2, I think the nomad option could be really cool. Alright, well, thank you guys for watching today. Make sure to like and subscribe, and enjoy your day.